Hello, that's us, your exhausted and nocturnal hosts. This week, looking at bringing out the dead. Beth, a pleasure as always. What's the crack?
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, good
Good
evening.
morning.
You're like it's not morning, but it's a time of year where it looks like we're in the same time
It
zone, even
does,
though
it
we're
does.
totally
The
not.
light beaming into my eyes at the minute tells me it's not because of where this room faces. So yeah.
It's true. And like there are times for anyone that watches like the video version of what we do, that you're in the dark and it's like very hard to see your
Yes, it's
face.
true. It's very different. And it
So
changes
it's like,
really rapidly. I'd say over the course of a month, it went from being quite dark to like,
yes,
oh, it's bright now. It's
yeah.
not.
No,
Uh,
so I know you're not a vampire, but sometimes I wonder. So,
yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want it. I would do not want. There's something. I don't know if I've explained this to you. There's a really kind of weird attitude to like, in my opinion, to like sun in this country because because it's a rarity. So like, if it's a sunny day, everybody's like, "We need to get out in it. You need to get out in the sunny day." And it's like, well, no, I'm out every day. I'm out every day, rain or shine. It's nice. It's nice. I'm out. I'll be out anyway. But maybe I just want to like, close the curtains and play video games, and that's okay.
yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna follow the sun's
No,
beckoning. Yeah, you
no,
you go.
you're not the son of me
Plod the
as
roads,
I
right?
wave my fist at the sun. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's like you have a lot of promise of sun.
yeah,
Like you're like, oh, it's gonna break through. It's gonna break, and then it just never does for like
no,
probably months. But
or
like the promise is there, which
it
is like
is
I think that's what keeps people around. Like when I
absolutely.
lived in Oregon, there was no promise.
Yeah, that's a good
There was
point.
just
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
there was just endless rain.
But
So
welcome to the gray.
yeah, I
Um,
know. I have some things
okay.
actually. I had a week and I did some stuff.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me know
Who
what
wants to hear
happened.
about it?
I put my hand
Did you
up.
get it?
Yeah.
Andy. Oh yes. Okay, so I saw Marty Supreme,
Oh,
Timothy Chalamet,
Uh-huh.
Chevrolet.
Uh-huh.
He's lucky because good news for him.
Uh-huh.
I liked it. I thought I
Yeah,
did a
yeah.
good job.
I agree.
I actually enjoyed it. I was kind of like, meh. I don't know why I was that way, but I wanted, to not pay money, I guess. So I got to watch it
Sure.
for free. And I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think the promotion, everyone was like, maybe he's being the character as he's promoting it, but I really didn't get that sense
No,
based on the character in the movie.
not at all.
So I don't understand that whole thing, but the promotion machine is just weird right now in
Yeah, it's
general.
true.
Uh, okay, so that happened. I also went to Dancing with the Stars
Oh,
live.
yes, of course.
And so I saw, if anyone watched season 304, I think it's 34, but Robert Irwin of the Irwin family
Okay.
won the Mirror Ball trophy.
Uh-huh.
And so he was there, and so you get to see all your favorite stars dancing, and they play like epic music that everyone recognizes, and everyone's screaming. And it's like, but we've been watching. I don't- did were there like did you guys see the Crocodile Hunter show? Was that a thing?
We are aware of him for sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, for us it was like everybody watched it because what the things he would do, he would just be like, "There's a cave, and it's me." I'm not gonna do the accent because um, I'm gonna be nice to everyone. But he'd be like, "There's a murky cave. Let me dive in there and see
Yes.
what's in there." And then he would pull out, like uh, an
I
alligator snapping turtle, right?
yes.
Which everyone should Google that right now because it's terrifying.
I remember South Park doing an episode about him basically trying to stick his fingers up animals' bum holes, essentially.
Basically,
Yeah, yeah.
basically, and he made a whole show about it. We were like, "This is amazing," and he's like, "Conservation." You're like, "Okay," but so his family, like, now we're watching the show, The Irwins,
hmm
and it's all about the zoo, the Australia
Oh,
Zoo,
yeah.
and it's really actually like you get to know the animals and like all of their like medical stuff, and you get to see them like taking care of the animals, and sometimes they pass away, and the circle of life and all that stuff. But it was just so sweet. So you see like 14 year like we're on episode 1, so like Robert Irwin is 14, he's a kid, right?
hmm
He's like this year for my birthday, I want to feed the croc. And like it's a whole thing that they do. They have like a croc amphitheater. Steve used to like just jump into the water with the crocodiles, literally, and it would like it's like 600 feet long, and he's trying to eat him, and he's like, "I love you so much," or whatever. Anyways, going to Dancing with the Stars live. I think he's like 20 or 21 now, Robert Irwin. The amount of like 35 plus women that were like, and then he took his shirt off. And I was like, he's baby Robert Irwin. Like, I can't separate those two things. I cannot. Um,
Once he,
he's
I
a,
think he gets past a certain demarcation line, they're like, okay, it's okay for us to perv on him.
I don't think he's there yet. And that kind of freaked me out.
Yeah,
Um, Also, we stayed in a hotel downtown. We got it for free because Mike has like travel miles and he was like, I'll get you a hotel so I don't have to drive home.
nice.
Um, and it was a late show. We wouldn't, it doesn't matter. Anyways, but it was like one of those hotels. I think the Dancing with the Stars people might have been staying there because
Ooh.
it was like super nice. It was right across the street from the theater. And we had turn down service.
Uh-huh.
So we
Uh-huh.
came in our room and Harper was like, someone's been in here. And I was like, what? And we're like looking and I was like, oh my God, like the curtains are closed. And I was like, oh, they turned our beds down. And then I noticed that they had like towels and slippers like next to each side of the bed.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, and then I started thinking, like, why would you need to literally not touch the floor, right, with your feet
That's a good,
at
yeah,
all?
yeah.
And then I was like, I turned to Harper and I was like, this is so people don't have to touch the floor with their feet. This is rich. This is some rich people shit here. That's
Yeah,
what we're dealing with.
that's true.
And it's like you're so rich that you're like thinking about like, I just don't like germs and like I'm so rich that like I just don't really want to touch my feet on the floor. And that's where I draw the line, Andy.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's where I draw the line.
But enjoy that, enjoy living in that space for a day. It's nice, right?
I ate the chocolate. I ate the
Yeah, yeah,
chocolate.
yeah. I mean, you got to. It's
Begrudgingly,
wasteful otherwise.
right? And then I
Um,
mashed it in the carpet for other people to step
sure,
on.
sure, sure, smart.
Yeah.
Um,
How about you? What's a crack? That was a lot,
that was
but I've been
good.
busy.
Um,
Finally.
it's nice to be busy. Um, well, sometimes. Anyway, um, so also some movie news. I've seen a few different films. I went to see Exit 8 in the cinema, which is a an indie movie. So there have been increasing over the past, I would say, few months or maybe like year or so, there have been more movies coming out that have been based on indie games. Like there was one
Mhm.
called Iron Lung that came out a few months ago, and this one was also based on a game. I had at least heard of the Iron Lung video game, but this movie came out based on the game. I've never even heard of the game, but it's essentially about this guy who is caught in this like he's trying to leave a subway station and he gets caught in this liminal space where he is in this sort of like looping set of corridors. And he's given rules that if he sees something wrong with that corridor, he's to turn back. If he sees nothing wrong with the corridor, he's to continue onwards. And for a movie that is essentially set in two corridors, really compelling, really interesting. The kind of core there is like they've clearly that was clearly what the game was about. They tried to inject a bit more of a kind of like story, I guess, because they're trying to make it into a film, which isn't quite as successful. But like the core idea is very cool and kind of unsettling. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Um,
This is reminding me of that. I'm trying to find the name of it, and of course I can't in my mind palace, but
gamer movie.
no, it was a movie with Tom Hanks where he's stuck at the airport for
Oh,
like
The Terminal.
it, the terminal. It's like the terminal.
Yes.
Which like an airport is essentially a corridor. So not to be like they stole that idea, but maybe
Oh,
I love that. I love that.
I mean, this is an idea that has. You mean like it's that idea of like liminal spaces. There's like a big movie called The Backrooms coming out later on this year that is essentially based around like this area called the Backrooms that exists kind of like just the edge of our reality, which is it's a very sort of cool concept. So, it. they seem to be doing quite well, and it'd be interesting to see where this sort of trend goes. But
Yeah.
I thought it was very good. I also, so my movie membership is run out the this weekend. So it's like lit a fire under me to watch a few things that I've been meaning to get round to, and I'm thrilled, like, because like it got me to watch two films, both The Florida Project, which is one of the early movies by the guy that did, oh, I've forgotten it now, the movie that won the Oscar for Best Picture last year.
I don't remember either.
It's
It's
gone.
fine. It's
And
I all I can remember is the year before, which is like Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer,
yes, Honora.
Honora.
So
Oh, right. Did you watch that again? Have we rewatched that?
no, but I really enjoyed it. I saw it in the cinema and really enjoyed it. But this was one of his earlier films called The Florida Project, which is like such a
I've
beautiful
started
movie.
watching it too. Is it wait. Is this a documentary?
It's not, no, it's not a documentary. It's basically but he uses a lot of like real people as actors. Willem Dafoe is in it as the manager of this like hotel that like these families are kind of living in, and it's essentially about one lady and her daughter and her and but it is mostly about these kids kind of playing together in like in the shadow of like Disneyland. Essentially, they're just outside the strip, and it's really wonderful, but like really heartbreaking in a lot of ways, but like it's just filled with like wonderful moments. I really enjoyed it. I
That sounds
also,
great.
it's really great. I really dug it. I mean, it is sad, but like it's really beautiful in a lot of ways too. I also finally watched The Worst Person in the World, which I've been meaning to watch for ages too. I fucking loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Like I had seen Sentimental Value a couple of months ago and really enjoyed that, but I think Worst Person was is absolutely phenomenal film. So yeah, both well worth checking out, I think.
I watched Sentimental Value too. I'm looking at The Worst Person in the World. Okay, I'll get there. Um, that's awesome. These
So
are
they
all
were great.
really yep, good. Love it.
I definitely recommend both those. And not film related, but I have some terrible news, Beth. The ter
Okay.
the terrible news is that Victor's Way is closed forever. And
What?
do you remember what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
it's so weird. I was looking at, well, no, because like one of it doesn't matter why I see the photos of us inside the snakehead all the
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So when I went to visit Andy a couple years ago, we took us to this place called Victor's Way, and it has all these weird. It's like I don't know. It's someone's amazing, like brilliant idea to take a bunch of land and then to turn it into like whatever Garden of Delight they wanted,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, basically,
And
but it's like through this guy's lens, and
mhm,
it's nuts. Truly insane. Like I love outsider art, and it's one of the my favorite kind of pieces of outsider art.
yeah,
If I take the park as a whole that I have ever encountered,
yeah.
just wonderful.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it. And I've seen some weird shit.
Yeah.
That's so why? Do we know why? Where's
No,
Victor?
well. So what we do know is that
What's
Victor
gonna happen to all
has
of it?
not sure as yet, but Victor has morphed into the Druid Finn,
Oh,
and
right. I
yeah.
remember reading something about that on the wall.
And
Like
he
covered
is,
in like laminate.
yes. So he's doing that. He's got a really it's like the website is like it is very kind of 1990s coded. It's just like filled with like, bright neon greens and pinks and things. So
So he's
yeah.
still working in HTML, which is awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, so he's turning it into something else, or he's just like,
I don't know that this because he said he has a statue of a druid now. I don't know where it is. I think it's going to be at the Victor's Way place, but I don't know what shape it's going to take. But he has moved into his druid era, and yeah, that's where we're at with it.
well, what the all the time? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hmm.
What about, okay, you guys who are listening? If you're not driving a car, like Google Victor's Way in Ireland.
Yeah. If you can find the
And
website, ideally do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's top.
Or, just photos of what they have. You
Yeah.
can click on images too. Um,
Yeah.
you know how to Google everybody. But like it's super, it's trippy. And not only that, like each piece that he made was like made from stone that was shipped all the way from India, and
Yes.
he's like got all these photos in this room of like the shipment of all these and picking the right, what is
Mhm.
it, marble? I don't even,
Yeah.
granite, don't know. And like and then making it into the creations that he made. And like the effort, man.
Yeah.
You've
It's
got to be
uh
committed to moving on.
it's incredible. Truly, truly incredible, and it
I
makes me
think
very
you
sad that it's closed.
you need a statue. You need
I
to
need a
email him and
statue.
be like, yeah, you do in your backyard.
I
Everybody
would.
else has like half a
Hmm.
castle. You could be like,
Geez, I'd take any of those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? That's a good question. I must.
send him a
Let's
message.
find out what's happening.
Be like, I got a fruit tree that I need to put a statue on top of.
I got a
So I don't have to,
space.
yeah.
Give me your elephant statue, please, or sorry, Ganesh,
Fuck
or whoever it
yeah.
is.
Yeah. Or even
So,
just like one of those reclining benches.
right? Yeah,
They're so
exactly.
comfortable.
That was
It's
so comfortable.
like this like hard bench with like a like wood pillow, and you're like, oh, this feels good.
Because it was for like it wasn't sunbathing, it was for sun something soaking or
I can't
sun bath or
remember.
something like that. It was,
Sunbathing,
but it was
sunbath.
like it wasn't
Sounds
sunbathing, it
sunbath.
was something else. It was, but yeah. So yeah,
God.
so
Okay,
that's
that's news.
my
That's
terrible
news.
news. So do you have any what's occurring for us, Beth?
I do. So we had our last episode was the Tree of Life. We had a
Hmm.
little feedback on that. Top fan. Hey,
Hmm.
buddy. Said, gotta be the hardest sell on your Malik menu. I've not seen it, but I hear To the Wonder is regarded as his weakest and most tedious film.
Yes.
Maybe do a bonus episode on that as an endurance test of your critical faculties. And I was like, absolutely not. I was
What?
like, you try and watch Malik for a whole
Hey,
month.
buddy, you watch Tree Life and then we'll say, okay?
Right.
Don't tell me I haven't watched Tree Life, but go and watch his most terrible movie. Why don't you? You friggin' chancer.
Uh,
Unbelievable. Wow. I'm not watching any more Terrence Malick for a while,
oh,
okay?
he's like crossing, Andy's
I
like crossing
am.
his arms. Okay. Sorry I made you mad. Before you have to go teach yoga class.
I
Don't be
know.
angry at people.
Oh,
Down dog, get in down dog.
fine.
Okay. Do you have any
No, I
downer
do
states
not
or
this week.
clarifications? No mess
Um,
ups?
so shall we get into this week's subject?
Yes.
Which is the final movie in our Patricia Arquette season, Bringing Out the Dead. What a way to end with a Martin Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
And, also she's fairly prominently featured as well, and she has some nice, like, storylines of her own. I thought she was going to be like a kind of real I mean, a side character, but she is pretty important throughout the story.
Very important.
Yeah.
There were some weird theories online about like what she represents. Some of it was
Mm.
religious. Okay, so quick synopsis for those to jog your memories, because we know you watched it and you're following along, but just in case. So basically, the plot depicts 48 hours in the life of a depressed New York paramedic whose name's Frank. He's working graveyard on a two-man ambulance team. He's burned out, exhausted, seeing ghosts, as you do. He's not sleeping. I think is his problem is like he's just like he needs a good night's sleep
Yes.
like Andy and I.
Yes.
Which is why we're both a little crunchy today.
Yeah.
So he's seeing ghosts, especially a young woman he failed to save 6 months before, and he's no longer able to save people. So like every night he goes out, and no one survives apparently any of his shifts, or like he's just not able to like get people saved.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, he brings in the dead basically, hence the title, bringing out the dead. We follow him for 3 nights. Each night he has a different partner. Larry, who thinks about dinner, which is one of my favorite parts. Marcus, who looks to Jesus, and Tom, who also one of my favorite parts, and Tom, who wallops people when the work is slow, and also his own ambulance. Frank befriends the daughter of the heart attack victim he brings in. She's Mary, played by Patricia Arquette, an ex-junkie, angry at her father, now hoping he'll live. And Frank tries to get fired, tries to quit, but keeps coming back to work and to Mary. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
ta-da! Ta-da.
it
The
was
aristocrats.
the aristocrats. Yeah, it's like It's so interesting because like some of the films that I was watching as well this week had such like great energy. You know, like even when they were like touching on like negative subjects, they were really kind of sparky and kind of filled with life. And like but this film just feel like more of a trudge. I mean I know that was kind of intentional because like basically our lead character is really struggling with like we say insomnia, depression and things like that, but it just feels like spiky and angry and kind of violent, you know? And like and it's not like a violent film for the most part, you know?
I
Um
mean, it's like it's not, but working a paramedic, being an EMT or a paramedic, do you call them
yes.
paramedics?
Uh
Um,
yeah, I think
we
so.
call them EMTs or paramedic. EMT is
Emergency
emergency
medical
medical tech.
technician.
Yep, yep, yep. Um, but it's like it's a violent job.
Yeah, it is a brutal job, and I have to say, like, I am so like, who would want to do that? I mean, like, I fair play to anybody who does it because it seems like, such a grim kind of reality, not just via this movie, but just through other things. It seems like a brutal, brutal job, you know, especially working a night shift, doing that would must be awful.
And you hear things, right? I hear like teachers say it all the time, like, "Oh God, it's a full moon today. The kids are going to be crazy." And like I've heard medical,
Yep,
personnel be like, "It's full moon tonight. Like it's going to be crazy." And I think one of those nights I might have been in labor, and I was like, "Oh great!"
great,
Like,
yeah,
good
because I
thing I
think
was in labor for like 3 days, so that
flip
that passed.
should have
There was
been
no full
fast.
moon.
Yeah, good news for you, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
Doesn't
s-
matter.
so yeah, I think they said at the start it's with combination of very hot and a full moon, so it's just like the perfect storm of like insanity, you know.
New
Um,
York on a good night.
New York and a good night. This is one of the things I wrote, which was
Yeah.
weird, a Martin Scorsese film set in New York?
I
Question
wrote,
mark.
I wrote, I wrote Mark Anthony and Queen Latifah.
Yeah, I did not recognize Mark Anthony until until I looked up the cast later on. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
I was like, no. I was like, that's like I don't know. He he looks bigger when he's on stage crooning, I guess, than when he's, playing someone with a brain injury. Anyways,
yes. Okay.
yeah.
So, um, director, it's Martin Scorsese. Heard of him? Um,
Ye-
have you heard him? I
How
think
do you I
rack
don't think
rack your
you're not
brain.
pronounced. Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
pronounced Scorsese.
you know, actually, there is apparently a way he does like it to be pronounced that
Are you
nobody
serious?
pronounces it. Yeah, and I can't think what it is because like I've known it as Scorsese for my entire life, and it's not quite that. Apparently, I can't remember now. I should look that up. Damn it.
Marty,
Um,
call us. Let us know
yeah,
what you
Marty,
wanna.
yeah,
You
come
just
come
you
on the
call him. Let
podcast.
us know. Yep, yep, yep.
Um,
Tell us what your
so
last name is.
yeah, um, so I think. I mean, this is arguable, but probably the most important working filmmaker. I mean, it's probably between him and like
Ooh,
maybe like Spielberg.
like
Oh
most important.
God.
I know you're. This is like I that this. You're walking into territory that I don't know. People are ready for that.
I understand this is dangerous ground to be walking on, but I feel like he's in the conversation at the very least, right?
I
I
would
mean,
say
he
top
has to be.
five.
Yes, he has
Yeah,
to be.
yeah.
Um, and like he has a litany of like incredible movies under his belt. Like I think I would hope that anybody who's listening to this probably knows who he is and like some of his works. But he has like done films like Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street. Like it is an embarrassment of riches. Like there are so many, even his like lesser films, which I think this might be one of, are
Uh-huh.
pretty freaking good, in my
I'm like
opinion.
going through his roster right now. I forgot about the Grifters.
Yeah,
Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, it's
Um,
so good.
so actually, the other movie podcast I listen to is doing a Scorsese season soon, so I'm going to use
Okay.
that to
Copy.
fill in the gaps, to copy.
Fill
No,
in the
no, no.
gaps.
Yeah, all like all
Huh?
all of his films that I haven't seen, I'm going to watch basically when this podcast is doing them. You know, um. But his first movie is Taxi Driver, and just because we talked about it recently, he
Mhm.
names John Ford's The Quiet Man as one of his formative influences. And because we brought it up before, because Beth got in trouble about it, he is another Roger Corman. student.
Who the fuck is Roger Corman?
You're gonna get in so much trouble, Beth.
Oh,
Stop.
I love it. Sorry.
So yeah, but like again, like it's you could we could do like multiple episodes just talking about Martin Scorsese and all the incredible stuff he's done. But if you're not aware of him, it's worth looking into him and his films. You will not be disappointed.
I think I need to take this might be our first piece of merch.
What?
Who the fuck is Roger Corman t-shirts? And I'll make one of them and I'll send it to Top Fan.
So
Okay.
rude to Roger Corman. He would not wear it. He would be
I know.
cross about it, I think.
I
Anyway,
know, I know. Ah, sorry. I'm
okay.
like crying. I'm so funny today. I'm sorry, everyone.
We're both extra punchy, everybody. Sorry.
Woo! All right, keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. I
Martin
that's me. That's me.
Scorsese.
That's me done talking about Scorsese for now.
Scorsese.
Because I'm gonna you do the next bit,
Oh,
and I'm gonna
okay,
like
okay, okay.
see
All
if I
right.
can get this pronunciation locked in here.
Okay, so this is actually based on a book. Did you know that?
I did not.
So it's by a book by Joe Connolly. Of course, he's probably Irish. I like there's like all things lead to Ireland, basically. Uh, and that's just what I've decided. Whatever energy lines are running your way, it's a good thing.
Mhm.
So this was his debut novel, also called Bringing Out the Dead. So it's fairly autobiographical, which is funny because I was like reading some of the blogs about it, and all these people are like, "This isn't what it's like to be an EMT at all," but it's written by an EMT. So it explores the life of the paranoid, hollow-eyed, blah blah blah. So it's Hell's Kitchen, and then it's like the phantasmagoria of like New York and Times
Yeah.
Square, and you just start anyways. So having seen so much human suffering on the job, Frank, the main character, has turned inwards. He's despondent to the point of being a drunk. Um, and his life is literally living hell. So I guess it was an immediate bestseller. It got optioned right away for $100,000. This was in like 1998. That was good money then.
Yeah.
It's good money now.
To this.
Um, and yeah, like got produced by Scorsese and Paul Schrader, who also worked with him on Taxi Driver and The Mosquito Coast and Raging Bull and other films. Um, it was a critical success, but like didn't meet box office expectations, which like when does anything ever? Um, unless it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically that's where the story came from was from and I don't know, like it was interesting what his coping skills. I was like, oh, buddy, right? Because he's like trying to stay awake and trying to like, his boss keeps telling him like, get back out there, and he's like, I just need to sleep, but I can't sleep, and so he's like drinking, like he's doing drugs,
Yeah.
he's like shooting himself full of
Adrenaline.
adrenaline.
Yep. Hmm.
Just to keep, doing the work. And, as the movie goes on and the sleep doesn't happen, like it starts like,
Um,
Scorsese, or it looks warped. Life
yeah.
gets more and more warped as you go to
It's
the
true.
point where I was like, is he dreaming or is this reality? Like, you can't really tell.
Well, I think that because that's what's so interesting because it feels like obviously it's the sort of allegory in it is about like the ghosts that are haunting him, both in terms of the people that he couldn't save and things like that. And then it's like, the question of is he actually seeing these people, that he hasn't been able to save, or is he just like losing his mind through, because of lack of sleep and like
Yeah.
the stress that this job must bring to him?
Yeah. And like, are his like EMT partners, because it's a two-shift job, are they that eccentric and
Yeah.
interesting every shift? Like, I wouldn't be needing all those extra things if Ving Rhames was like praying over everyone as they're trying to like revive someone with
Yeah, that rock.
adrenaline or whatever, or Narcan or whatever. And I was just like, Ving Rhames has hair
Oh, he's
and
incredible.
he's like delivering the best, one of his best performances, of which all of his performances are his best performances.
I,
Anyways, sorry,
I
we'll get to that. But
I thought he had real Billy D. Williams vibes in this because like he both has a Billy D. Williams look, like he
yeah,
has that kind of slicked hair, he has a mustache, even how he's talking is very Billy D. Williams, and I was like, I couldn't find anything to kind of like confirm or deny that, but it really he had such a like it was good. He was great. He was so entertaining in it. He
Yeah,
just had
there
such
was
energy.
I miss that man.
Yeah, he was wonderful. Is he? Is he? Did he die?
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's still alive. He's just in.
Oh, no, it's I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. That was edit that out, Andy.
Okay, I'll edit it out. I'll edit it out. We'll move on.
Thank
We'll move on.
God. I was well, no, it's
I
like
I
I
know
was gonna
he's ill because like he that's why
Are
he
you
couldn't do
serious?
very much. Yes, but quite seriously ill because like he that's why he couldn't do very much in the most recent Mission Impossible films. So like yeah, he's a bad way, but he's still with
Okay.
us, thankfully.
Oh God. I'm not here to spread
Yeah,
those
don't yeah,
rumors.
we don't need to look
Whew.
look into that anymore. Don't find out any more
Okay.
information. Okay.
That's the
So
good news.
that's the good news. Shall we move on to music? Are you done
Yes.
with?
Yep,
Okay.
yep, yep. I was just chatting.
Love it. So the composer was Elmer Bernstein, who we've had it on the podcast before, or we covered in the podcast before when talking about An American Werewolf in London. So he is a composer who has done a ton of stuff. Like, I mean, I'm not going to repeat what I've said in previous kind of podcast episodes, but he's done like a ton of like dramatic work, a ton of comedic work. He is not a relation to Leonard Bernstein. Um, um,
And
they
his
just
name
have,
is Elmer.
yes, they just happen to have different names. They just happen to have the same sort of same last name, I should say. Um, so I thought just, talk a little bit about this soundtrack. I think it's really kind of wonderful in that it is quite haunting and also kind of quite, I think not intense is the right word, but it kind of feeds that sort of like nervous, sort of crazy energy that like runs through the length of this film. Um, just really kind of fantastic stuff. The movie also has a really wonderful soundtrack on top of the composed works. Martin Scorsese is also, he pronounces it Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Mhm. But like,
Scorsese.
I look it up on Google and it's just like Scorsese. So anyway,
Okay.
but he says
Scorsese.
Scorsese. So Scorsese is a massive music fan. Like he has done a stack of like music biographies and things like that. So the film is like filled with really great songs, including artists like Northern Ireland's own Van Morrison, a totally chill dude, REM, and The Who.
There
So
you go.
nice soundtrack. That was being
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sarcastic there, by the way. Van Morrison is not a chill dude.
I was gonna say, is he really Irish?
He is really Northern Irish, and he
Okay.
is
Sorry, Northern Irish.
reportedly kind of a prick. But by basically any and all reports I've heard about him.
Okay.
So
That's sad.
yeah, it is. But it's unfortunately quite a common case with celebrities. Once they
And
once they hit a certain level of fame.
they're like, yeah, I mean, I would, yeah, the new thing is like people are talking about parasocial like
Yes,
relationships with celebrities.
yes.
So that's this year's like,
I mean, it's something that I know in the podcast space that people talk to a lot, about a lot because, like, you know, especially there's an intimacy to walking around with these people in your ears a lot of the time. So people
yeah,
like feel like podcast hosts are their friends. So
yeah.
like,
Well,
yes, we
we
are.
are
Of
your
course
friends.
we are. In this case, we are. Maybe not the rest of them, but we are for sure. Um, but yeah, so that's the music for Bring Out the Dead.
I thought cast wise,
Hmm.
I thought it was a great cast. There were a lot of
It
people
was.
I mean, you know, John Goodman every time. I didn't think this was like his best work. I think could have gone
He
farther.
didn't have a ton to do, I would say.
No,
Like
he was like,
he's
I want to eat food, and it was
yes,
like, yeah.
but
But
he's always lovely to see him though.
yeah. So also there was like, yeah, so two you can hear voices from the 911 uh operators, and I was like, I swear that's Queen Latifah. And
Yes,
I was right. And then
yes,
the second one, I was like, why do I recognize that voice? And then I was like, oh, it's Martin Scorsese.
yes.
And yeah, so that's like the latter half of the movie when things are even crazier, new dispatcher, and it's Martin Scorsese, like in his lilt, like telling them what to do, but also like in a poetry kind of way. Um, I, I will say, like his descent into the chaos of, I don't know, not sleeping well, and then
Hmm.
like showing up at a drug dealer's house and being like, "Yeah, I'll take the drug you gave me," and then like having a paranoid like episode and then grabbing the girl and running out. It was just like the movie was generally hard for me to follow. The
Yes.
freneticness, like I understood it, for those insomniacs out there that have gone like, 4 days without sleep and not driving an ambulance and dealing with like
Yeah.
the worst of the worst of the emergencies, like it's a whole thing. Um,
Like I respected, them, showing how overwhelming it was, but like it also
yes.
felt kind of overwhelming to watch as a result, which is,
Yeah, exactly.
maybe not always what I'm
Exactly.
looking for in a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. And and it has like it's broken up with like lots of like, maybe not fun parts, but like, kind of spiky, kind of like energetic things or like crazy moments with the cast. But like, yeah, it wasn't chill vibes. Let's put it that
No.
way.
I
Um,
wrote, I
mhm.
think the new podcast that we do should be called 90 minutes or less.
Yeah, hell yeah.
This is like an hour and 45 minutes, and I was like, okay.
I know. It's actually what it's
I'm on board with your complaint, is what
yeah.
I'm saying. I
It
was like,
worked out
whatever, Andy.
it worked out quite nicely for me the other day because like I switched on a movie and I was like, oh, the Secret Agent is on here. I really want to watch that. And I was like, this movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Fuck. And then so it like I was like, I don't have that in me. But then it made me watch the worst person in the world because it was just over 2 hours. It was like, well, that feels more reasonable. And I'm
Yeah.
really glad that it pushed me towards that. Um yeah, one of the things just before we move on from actors and stuff was that like one of the things I'm really loving about this kind of project that we're doing is that upon watching old movies, I see so many actors that I know from like
Yeah.
TV shows and like other kind of smaller movies. Like I'm so like much more familiar with different actors and things like that. It's just really nice to kind of go, oh wow, because like there's two people who are like alums from The Wire.
Hmm.
Michael Kenneth Williams, who has famously got the kind of scar on his face, and Sonia Son, who was one of the police officers and I was like, I think that's her. And it's just really nice to kind of like, see these people and go, wow, it's very cool. And also Ada Turturro, who is John Turturro's sister,
Yes.
and who is Tony's
Sopranos
sister
fame.
in The Sopranos,
Yes.
yeah.
Fucking love her with her like kiss or
Oh,
no,
it
not
is a kiss
kiss.
tattoo. It is.
Kiss tattoo,
No, not a
heart
kiss tattoo.
boob.
It's Rolling Stones tattoo
Rolling
because it's
Stones with the
yes, yeah,
lips. Yeah.
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 It's
Good.
amazing.
Good. Always love to see her.
Yeah,
She's underutilized.
she is.
And it's like I want all the like everyone that was in this cast, I was like, oh yeah, like I haven't seen this person in so long, or like,
Yeah,
I just pay every Hollywood, I know you're listening, pay everybody more so that they like can stick with this. We need our character actors, I swear.
absolutely.
So common themes,
Hmm.
death, suffering, redemption, salvation. So I have a quote from Scorsese. I'm not trying to be snarky. I'm trying to say it right. I'm sorry, everybody. So he said, some people kept asking, gee, New York looks a little different now. And I say, but you're looking at the surface. This is not about New York. This is about suffering. It's about humanity. It's about what our part is in life. The whole thing about how New York is changing, getting better, it goes in cycles. Some people are saying the movie is representative of New York in like the early 1990s. It's different now. And I say it's not so. We were there. We were shooting in that area. We were out. They were there, those people. And if
Yeah.
some of them aren't in the streets, believe me, they're going to be someplace. And I saw some of the places where they are. You don't want to know. It's underneath the city in a hole. It's under the railroads. It's the end of life. It's the drugs. It's down. You can't get any lower.
Mm.
So,
I like, I feel like it's quite interesting because to me, and certainly my understanding of New York is that this was when New York was kind of on the upswing as well, because like for like what it was like 70s, 80s, I think it
yeah,
was seen as
yes,
very dangerous and very kind of like downtrodden, and
yeah,
then they kind of like completely cleaned out the kind of city center and kind of and for better or for worse, kind of made it quite touristy and quite kind of like friendly
It's
for anyone
super
and
fun to
everyone.
visit
Yeah,
now. But I remember like going back to visit family and, my dad being like, well, we can't really go to like, he's like, I'm not comfortable taking you to Times Square,
yeah,
you know? And there are theories as to why all of that, got cleaned up. Um, they added an NY police department in the center. They also there's a theory that they just gave a bunch of people that were issue problem, folks, one-way tickets to Philly, to Philadelphia,
right.
and other cities. Yeah, and we're like, yep, we'll basically pay for you to get out of here. Which, who knows? But whatever they did, it's very different now. And like,
Yes,
I took my daughter there last year and we had a blast. But I also, the idea of a place having cycles of good and bad, like I believe that for at least for that city,
yeah,
probably both cities. So yeah, I thought
uh,
it just, and also like you can see what is, I I wrote because I was watching there's a documentary that he made about himself that's out right now. I can't remember which channel it's on, but I'm picking away at it. And he went through like a big like cocaine phase.
uh-huh.
And I'm like, this is probably like when he was a drug addict. This feels very much, you know, if, it's the end of life, it's the drugs, it's down, you can't get it any lower. And I wonder if like some of that is um t him talking about himself.
Yeah. I because as we're talking, I'm thinking about like the David Simon who did The Wire also did a show called The Juice, and it was about, and I was trying to remember what era it was set in, but it was set in New York. It, as it turns out, the 1970s, and it was like at a time when that city was really struggling, and there was a lot of crime there. It was very
Yeah.
dangerous, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Like watch Drugstore Cowboy, I think.
Oh, I have never seen it.
And that's like, is that what I think it's with Dustin Hoffman
I think it is.
and
Yeah, it is. It is.
um Angelina Jolie's
Mm-hmm.
father, whose name is not coming to me right now.
Angelina,
Don't yell at me.
wait, Angelina Jolie? No, wait, what?
Yeah, her dad's name, he's a famous actor. Anyways, so but that really shows it's like, turning tricks, all the
Oh, Midnight Cowboy you're talking about.
Midnight Cowboy, not
That's what
Drugstore
I, that's
Cowboy.
what I, John Boy, John
That's
Voight.
Gus Van Sant. Sorry, yes,
Yes.
John Voight. Thank you for listening, everyone, to me
We're
forgetting, trying to like,
both very tired, okay?
we
Okay,
are,
just give
it's
us a break.
fine. We've just been awake for this felt like 48 hours of movie, everyone.
Yeah,
That's what you get. Um, okay, so yeah, that's what I have there.
love it. Um, yeah, so like any other kind of thoughts on the film or
I do.
mhm.
Um, yeah, I wrote, is he so like I guess that Nicolas Cage was married to Patricia Arquette during this
Oh,
time.
I suppose that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Um, but I didn't know that as I was writing all my like I like take notes as I watch it and then I go and I do my research after for, days and days and hours. I wrote, is he dead in real life? He looks dead. Was he hanging out with Charlie Sheen around now? Probably.
Oh yeah, probably.
So I don't know how this works in the UK or Northern Ireland, but here all ambulances are actually private contractors. Like it's a private company. They're not through health care insurance places. They're not employed by hospitals. So it's this whole like, I don't know how it works, but I feel like
It
based on the infrastructure that we saw in this movie, I'm like, we're in trouble.
yes. No, I think it's all under the umbrella of the NHS here, is my understanding.
Okay. Yeah, it's not here. So it's
Yeah.
it's privatized and that, you know,
That feels problematic. That feels
yeah,
like a mistake.
it is.
Um,
It is. The nun with the fetus keychain,
uh-huh.
her name was Sister Fetus in the script.
Okay.
I said you could be her for Halloween. She's got this like,
Me?
yes.
Wow.
I was like, you could be her for Halloween. Or like make
I
it's horrible. That's a
That would be
horrible. I
so
must
many
have been tired.
questions. That would be so
Anyways,
many questions. I'd
yeah.
have to
I was
feel it. I
like
don't want to do that.
Bing, I love with hair. I was
Yes,
like,
yes,
what kind
so
of
good.
name is I be banging?
So good.
Yeah,
That
so
scene where he does the kind of like gets all these like alternative kids to hold hands in a circle and praise God to bring their friend back was really incredible.
their friend I be banging.
Yeah.
So,
And like so
yeah,
there was
go
like
ahead.
there was definitely like sparky moments like that that I really loved and that really kind of picked things up, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then there was a piece of art in the drug dealer's apartment. It was like a volcano painting, but it also like kind of like moved. It was like one of those
Yes.
paintings where it
Hmm.
actually, and I was like, oh, I want someone has that, or it's in some like studio lot storage area. I would really like that painting. So if anybody has connections, that would be
I
great.
remember those sorts of things because it was like sometimes they were had it like actually had stuff that like it was like a lava lamp, but I think that like sometimes it was just like that shimmery sort of like paint or material so that it looked
Yeah,
like it was
yeah. Sometimes it's lights.
active. Yes.
Yeah. So can you hear my dog is sitting behind me? She's having a puppy dream. Can you hear her
Oh,
baby? She's
nice. I
like
can't
bark,
hear. No,
bark, bark, bark.
I've got a sleeping pupper beside behind
It's
me
so
as well.
cute. It's so cute, dogs. We love them.
We do.
Okay, so do you want to know a few more facts?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, get ready.
I've braced
So,
myself.
I wonder how many. Okay, so according to Tom Sizemore, he and Mark Anthony did not get along and almost had a physical altercation on set.
Oh wow.
I wonder how many times that happened to Tom Sizemore,
Yeah.
just generally.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably fairly common.
Yeah, yeah. Martin Scorsese has admitted that he didn't enjoy shooting the film at all,
Oh wow.
which I kind of got from his quote. Also, yeah, most of it was filmed at night in
I was gonna
mid-December, and
say
so the
all night
conditions.
shoots is be a
Yeah,
nightmare. Yeah.
and I saw a photo of him, on the like they had like the camera operator like behind the ambulance, and he's just like looking at the photographer, and he just looks so miserable.
Yeah.
Um, so Martin Scorsese and Nicolas Cage rode along with real NYC paramedics in preparation for filming.
Hmm.
Like, always like, well, then what? What did they see? What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah.
Did it end up in the script?
Yeah. It's true.
Uh, this I think is probably one of my like probably like in my top five like 15 favorite facts I've read of any movie ever.
Okay.
Every night during filming, Nicolas Cage would run through an average of 10 shirts through a combination of blood, sweat, and mud.
I'm not. That is not, but also not surprising considering
I
how much
know.
shit is sprayed and like all sorts of fluids are sprayed over him. Like it's
So many. And this was
gross.
like during, the AIDS epidemic and,
Oh
apparently it didn't matter during uh they don't maybe they didn't know.
no.
Anyways, um okay, so some of this they did it like they're trying to fuck with your brains a little bit with the cinematography. So in the scene where Frank attempts to save Rose, the actors acted out their movements in reverse. The sequence itself was then played in reverse. This adds to the dreamlike effect of the scene in which the snow rises.
Hmm.
So we weren't sleep deprived. It was the movie's problem.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, that's good to know.
You're fine. You're fine.
Phew.
I'm fine too. Right? Um, okay. Who would you pick to be the first choice of the role of Frank Pierce that was played by Nicolas Cage?
Oh man. I'm gonna. I don't know who I would pick at the time. I'm gonna guess like somebody like Sean Penn was up for the role.
Close.
Who was it?
There's like a list of 10 people that I feel like every movie I'm watching, like during this era, I'm like, oh, yep, Edward Norton.
Oh, okay.
And
I
I
can
was
see
like,
that.
I feel like it would have been a different movie.
And this is like the only time Nicolas Cage has worked with Scorsese as well, which
Yes,
is
that's why
kind
he
of
chose this
interesting.
movie.
Yeah,
He
that
was
makes
like, yeah, I'll
sense.
do it because it's Scorsese. The only Scorsese movie of the 90s to have no Oscar nominations.
Hmm.
Um, okay, this is gross. I'm sorry. Before writing the script. Paul Schrader went out and also did some they call them ride-alongs
Yeah.
here. Sorry, I just got a sticker. I'm in my daughter's room and she's got this like stickers everywhere. Anyways, okay. Paul Schrader went out on several ambulance runs to get a real flavor of what the crews had to put up with on a normal night. The first night he rode out with them, he had to contend with the grisly sight of a homeless man who had been cut in half by a subway train.
Yikes. Yeah, no, thank you. I mean,
And then be like, yep, let's keep going. Good idea. Let's do this.
good work and fair play to anybody who does that job.
Hmm.
That's absolutely grim. Um,
Also, for
mhm.
Laserdisc fans, of which I know Andy is a deep, deep Laserdisc
Oh
fan
yeah.
with all the ones you have in storage,
Hmm, of
which are
course.
zero. Okay, so this, along with Sleepy Hollow, which came out in '99, was the last movie to be released on Laserdisc in
Hmm.
North
Wow,
America.
fascinating.
Yeah, this is it. So if anyone
Yep.
has this, this is it. The end
Last
of
one.
that era.
Yeah, indeed.
What about mini discs? We don't know. Someone let us know about that.
Yeah, no, that was around the time when they were a thing as well. I think they were maybe slightly after that, but yeah, they didn't last very long either.
No. They were like, oh,
Um,
you can make them smaller.
yeah.
Like,
It's
yeah.
it's absolutely insane. Like Laserdiscs were nuts. Like, because I used to work in a shop that had some of them, and they're just like big, heavy bastards. Like they're even a bit heavier than vinyl. It was just a crazy idea for a format, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I also, cool.
Yeah.
Um, should we talk a little bit just because obviously it's the last film in her month? How Patricia Arquette got on this film?
Yeah. Yes. I really enjoyed her haircut
Yes,
and the grow out.
yes,
She had black hair, but I think it's blonde
with bits of blonde in it.
naturally.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was good. I just like her.
yeah.
There's something hypnotic about her and everything she's in.
She's like, I don't mean this like she's kind of like a delicate presence. Like she feels like
Hmm.
reserved and kind of like calming and like because it makes me wonder. You talked about some of the stuff that you'd read about theories of what she is. I could kind of see her, especially that she's named Mary, whether it had some sort of religious connotations or some sort of like biblical thing going on there. And I think that like she portrays that really well. Like, this sort of like even though she has her problems in this film, like her character does at least, she is this sort of like she's removed from the rest of it in a really kind of interesting way.
Yeah, I agree. And um yeah, her the way she delivers lines, the just yeah, her calming presence. I don't know,
Yeah.
she just has her own her like there's no one like her, and when you
Yeah.
watch her, you know exactly who it is,
Yep.
like
So true.
immediately, and all the stuff that she's doing. Like I love that she's had a good career. She's doing a bunch of stuff with
Yep.
Apple,
My
with
Severance. Yep.
Severance, and she's so good in that. Um, and I'm a fan. I
So
Patricia, we love you.
yes, like I really loved, and it's a few years ago now, but I really loved like Boardwalk Empire, and
Yeah,
she was a big part of later seasons of it as well, and she was fantastic in that. Like, and it was, I think when I saw her then, I hadn't seen her for years and years, and like she was so fantastic in that show. She really was.
yeah.
Um, okay. Any other last bits and pieces before we move into our final few sections of the show, Beth?
Um, did you like the movie?
Hmm.
Hmm,
I
I mean, let's move into the next
Let's
section.
we'll get into our next sections and we'll talk about that a little bit when we get
Yeah.
our final opinion. Okay, so a few more things to do just before we wrap up properly, which is too legit to fit. Who are the best outfits in the movie? Not a ton of outfits in this movie, mostly EMT gear. However, purely for his facial hair and hair, it has to be Ving Rhames' character
Absolutely.
Marcus. Just
Absolutely. Yes.
beautiful and also like a lot of great cigar work as well. And I know that that's not technically part of your outfit, but he made it part of his outfit.
I just,
Um,
what else are you going to do when you're driving your ambulance but
yeah,
smoke a cigar?
amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
You're Ving fucking Rames.
Ving fucking Rhames. All right. So Andy's Animal Acting Award for excellence in animal acting. Not a ton to choose from, I've got to say, in this movie, but what I've written down here is great fish tank work, and it was great
Yeah,
fish tank work.
it was.
Um,
Those fish.
little anemones and stuff like that as well. It was very cool.
And
So
it's
yeah,
like the tiniest little anemone. And
it
then
is.
this like clownfish was like, I'm living here. And I'm like,
Yeah,
buddy, it's too small. Your house is too small.
it is. It
They,
is
everyone can see you.
exactly. Okay.
Sorry.
So Beth, for Bringing Out the Dead, would you revisit, remember, refuse, or redo?
I kind of went with refuse on this one.
Yeah,
I knowing it's part of it is like when you're really good at something and you produce really good stuff for the most part, and then, everyone's scaling based on the best of your work. I don't think this was
no.
Scorsese's no best
And
work.
certainly in terms of like films of his that I've seen, it's definitely at the lower end in terms of my enjoyment of his films. So like,
Yeah.
and like it's annoying because like, I think there's some really great performances in it. There's some really great moments in it. I just find it very oppressive and kind of also depressing in a way that I just like I'm struggling with this a little bit. I I still think ultimately I'm going to land on Remember. I think that it is I say it does have stuff in it, but it's probably like somewhere between a Remember and a Refuse for me.
Yeah. I don't think it's kind of like, when you watch a movie and you're like, well, that changed my life. And like,
Yes.
I'll think about that for, it's like this, I,
Eh,
I, whether or not I saw this movie doesn't change anything for
yes,
me, I
that's a
guess.
good way to because it's not a bad movie at all, but
No,
it's just a lot, and I don't know how super successful it is in terms of what it's trying to do as well. But like, it's Scorsese, so it's got some excellent elements in it, regardless,
I
and some
can
great
kind of,
actors.
absolutely, I can kind of see like a little bit of Strange Days in it, which I
Yeah.
know came out after. I don't remember.
Yes, very,
But
very.
around the same,
I think just before actually, but
so it
yeah,
might have just been like kind of that was the style of that year or
five
whatever.
5 years before.
5 years, but
Yeah.
this came out 5 years before Strange
No,
Days.
Strange Days came out 5 years before this.
Okay, so maybe there's a little bit
Because
of that
if
going
you
on.
remember, Strange Days was set in the far-flung
Yes,
future of the year
that's
2000.
right.
Well, New Year's
That's
Eve,
right.
1999.
1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Beth, before we move into our final few, or our goodbyes at least anyway, can you tell everybody what's been bringing you joy this week?
Yes, I have two things, Andy.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm showing off this week.
Yeah, lie there.
Um, so Dancing with the Stars live
Sure.
was like so fun. I took my 11-year-old daughter, and she said things like, "You're my best friend. This is the best night of my life."
Uh,
So I felt like that just felt good as a parent to like
yeah.
hear that. And she's like holding my hand. It was really good. Um, also, um, oh, I can say that. I have three things. No, I'll say that. So the other thing is, um, my favorite book is To Kill a Mockingbird.
Uh-huh.
I named my daughter after the
Yeah.
author. Like I have a signed copy. I'm sure I've like shown you my To Kill a Mockingbird book that's signed to me from Harper Lee. Have I told
Hmm.
you that? Um, Not to toot my horn, but I have a book signed to Beth from Harper Lee.
That rocks.
Um, it's in the Bible that she wrote it, not To Kill a Mockingbird, just kidding. So my dad got it for me. It's like one of my most treasured possessions. But
Hmm.
like the book came up four times this week. And one
Hmm.
of those times Harper was like, when can I read the book? And I was like, well, you're not quite ready for the book itself, but I was like, you're probably ready for the movie. And so we started it the other night, and I could see how much it meant to her,
Yeah.
like seeing where, like, I don't have a namesake. Are you named after anybody?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah. So if we're just kind of like, whatever. We make our own uh I don't know. But both
Destiny's.
my kids are named
Yeah.
after something or someone.
Yeah.
And so
Hmm.
to be able to see like what your namesake is pretty special.
It
So I
is.
got some joy. And she was like, I'm really enjoying this. And it's a really good fucking movie, I will say.
Yeah, it is. It is a great movie. Um, love it. Okay. So I what's been bringing me joy is I finally because I got rid of Netflix and I've picked up Disney again so I can get caught up on some of the shows that
Star
I've been
Wars.
missing. No, I mean like I'm caught up in Star Wars sadly. There's nothing. I don't need that. I don't need any more Star Wars right now. But I there's Marvel stuff I haven't seen, specifically Wonder Man and
Ooh,
the new Daredevil season. The new
yeah.
Wonder Man, or the not the new Wonder Man, the Wonder Man show is fantastic, really good. I am not completely finished it yet, but I'm really loving it. I is and I'd heard it was kind of quite meta and a real kind of different direction for the Marvel shows, and it's really wonderful. Like Ben Kingsley's in it.
Ooh,
And he's playing like because he was the Mandarin, and it's all about him like
yeah.
trying to get his acting career back on track with with Simon Williams, who's the Wonder Man's or
It's amazing he didn't end up in jail forever, but whatever.
yeah, well this is it, and it's all kind of about that. So
Okay.
like it's really excellent, and I'm really it's supposed to be it's been a real kind of like shot in the arm for me because like I have been really kind of like I've kind of getting very kind of strung out with Marvel. I'm very bored of it, but like so it's really nice to kind of reinvigorate my fandom for it, you know.
Good.
Okay, so exciting news, everybody. We're using this episode or this movie to launch into our next season. Next month is going to be Nicolas Cage season. Pew pew
Pew,
pew.
pew, pew,
Um.
pew.
So yeah, I think I don't know if we teased this. I don't know if we have, but yeah. So we're going to kick off properly Nicolas Cage month with next week's movie, which is Raising Arizona. If you want to watch along at home. If anybody has any suggestions or any Nicolas Cage movies they'd like us to add to this list, please let us know. But yeah, so we're thrilled to be doing this, and it's going to be like a month of chill, normal movies.
I'm ready to laugh. I'm ready to laugh, Andy.
Oh, absolutely. All right. Okay. So
Can
Beth, can you tell everybody where they can find us?
find us at ivybangin.com. No, just kidding.
ibanging.com. Let's see if
Sorry.
checking that right now.
Danny's Googling it. I don't want to know. You can find us at movietestofTime.com. You can email us at movietestofTime@gmail.com. Suggestions, we got a few of those. So I added those to our list, Andy. I don't know if I ever told you that. And
Love
we're
that.
on the Insta and
On the
the
Insta.
socials on the Insta. Yeah, maybe I'll add threads. And there's always new platforms coming out. So
Nope.
just
Nope.
check us out. No
Nobody
ibbangin.com.
owns
.com.
AB Bang. Let's squat on it immediately.
Shit.
Um,
Should
let's
we
not do
change
that. No,
everything?
no. Absolutely not. Okay. Love it. So yeah, so as always, folks, we've reached the end of this week's episode. And as always, we'd like to say goodbye to our exhausted and nocturnal fans. Goodbye.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah. Hope that falls right with you.
Yeah.